This quick video, 2-inch coupler. I just tack welded the back just for added security, just so that the bolts couldn't be unbolted. Jack is new. Strap is in good condition. I just keep it loose. Bow rider is good. There's the spare tire. Never been used. Still has the hairs on it. This is the tilt option, so when you're launching, you just pull that mechanism back, and then this whole thing will pivot. And then when you're trailering, you sort of just kick that back down. This is a view of the port side bottom. Current registration, I mean, there's minor surface scratches and dings, probably just from being trailered over the years. Let's see, I think here, that's the roller that could be replaced. It's starting to wear. It's probably my fault. This is height adjustable, and it probably is maybe up just a little too high so that it's actually traveling on it. Trailer's pretty immaculate, and there's no rust. It's galvanized, and the bunks are lined up to fit between the kinds really well. I'm curious myself if most aluminum boats do leak. This is usually where they do. This is where the keel plate, so if you're beaching it, it's a little extra thick there before it goes to the kind, the center kind, down the way back. Grip tape's coming undone a little bit. I don't know, it's attached to galvanized metal, so maybe that was never a good fit. Oh, the running lights. Light is working. Trailer lights. Back roller, this one's fine. It might be 12-inch, not 8-inch rollers. The back could probably use a paint job. I put new drain plugs in. You're supposed to cut these flush. I never did. You know, this is just paint chipping. This isn't any pitting in the metal. And then the transducer plate, we never wanted to like drill extra holes that the boat didn't already have. So this plate is just like 3M adhesive. So you can just pop this off if you ever need to put a new depth or fish finder on there. So there's no other holes drilled in the boat, I don't think, other than what the factory did. Motor plate. Motor's clean. I keep a bolt in here. I've had mud wasps try to build nests in there. And then I put just rope around any entry points just to keep spiders or anything small from getting in there. I have 2 new tie down straps. They just go to these eyelets and the eyelet behind the tail light. I have a transom saver. I put a little extra cork in here just so that the hard plastic isn't riding on the metal motor housing, although over time I did wear a little bit of the paint off. You can get Evinrude touch-up paint for that. Let's see. And on the other side, the running light is operational, so let's go inside the boat. So the bimini stores nicely. The cover itself is pretty fabric faded, and I'll pull it out and make sure that it's got no rips and tears. So old tiller style, you'd probably sit here and then hold the tiller for the motor. Just mention particularly too, it has a manual backup start. It is electric start, but in case you do run out of battery, it does have that option. This is the original battery box. I just kind of wired it through. I plan to put a cutoff switch in here and then lock this so that nobody could actually start the boat. So you could do that. And I've moved the battery up. So these are marine grade cables going through full copper and coated. They're tin coated for extra corrosion resistance. The helm is sturdy. There's electric tilt. And the motor usually does have warning indicators to not start when it's out of water. And then steers freely. So it is cable steering, but there's no issues with that. So the side center console concept, you'll see there's 3 fishing rod holders on this side. So the console is shifted just slightly to the right, just so that you have the ability to step through pretty easily. But the center of the steering wheel matches the center line of the boat, so that when you're standing here running the boat, it's a lot easier for the driver just to maintain balance. So the boat is pretty balanced, battery's in the middle. The gas tank usually does sit off to one side, so I don't think it makes that much of a difference. There's an extra storage container under here. This was installed, so this is kind of hollowed out, the foam, and then this box put in there. I used to keep the fuel line stored in there, the registration, just miscellaneous stuff. And then the drain plug. Like I said, on plane, I'm 99% sure the boat has no leaks. I don't want to say 100%. We just, we're usually getting in and out of it wet or with a wet dog, and I don't think there's any leaks. But when you're on plane, you can just pull the plug, run out any water. If there was ever any issues with any of the rivets, there's a compound called Glove It that you can coat over them, but I'm pretty sure there's nothing that leaks. The helm is pretty well mounted, so it overlays the seat just a little bit. So there's an angle piece here, and then all of these 4 corners are 1/4 inch aluminum. It's 1/16 just the face plate, and then underneath it's that's HDPE. It's not wood, so, and that's 3/4 of an inch, or maybe that's 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch thick. So you'll never have to replace the wood. Most of the consoles are wood. I just never wanted to deal with it again. And in the bottom, I just put another 1/4 inch plate, super thick, and just tied it into one of the cross members on both sides. And then the fish finder, it's just basic. It just detects fish, nothing else. I haven't connected it to gas. I don't think it will start, but it just goes through the system checks for oil, heat, and you check engine codes. There's the hour meter. I don't know, I'll just see if it starts. I just did that for demonstration. I'm not going to run it because it's not hooked up to water. So it's extremely reliable. It starts immediately. So if you pass through, here's the center bench. There's the restaurant matting I have just to make it comfortable. I mean, your feet are angled because it's a deep V hull design. There's a front bow portion. You can see there's some discoloration where the seat was mounted. I just filled in the holes. I've got 2 rod holders mounted on each side for trolling. These are Scotty mounts. I do have an anchor and rope that comes with it, and then just sort of looking at the back of the room. So you can usually have 1 person on the front bench, 2 people in the middle. I mean, it is a pretty good 90-degree vertical, so it's not always the most comfortable backrest, but you know, you can set here pretty easily. And then I just have an anchor keeper so that the anchor doesn't slide back on a rubber car mat. And that's pretty much it.